Someone once hid a finger in a movie star's underwear to smuggle it out of the country. This isn't a joke. It's a true story from 1958. An explorer stole a Yeti finger from a temple in Nepal. To dodge customs, he asked Hollywood legend James Stewart for help. They smuggled the finger to London for DNA testing. When the results came back, everyone went silent. The finger was human. But don't go away just yet. Let's look at the bigger picture. Let's go back to 1951. Two British climbers were scouting a route on Mount Everest. In the snow, they found a footprint. It was 33 centimeters long and incredibly wide. The weirdest part? The big toe pointed outward, just like a human thumb. They followed the tracks for over a mile. The further they went, the more unsettled they felt. They took a photo and brought it back. The world went crazy. The man who took that photo was Eric Shipton. He was a legend in the climbing world, not some amateur. If he couldn't explain it, people believed it had to be real. The media called that photo the Rosetta Stone of Yeti evidence. After that, the global hunt began. An American oil tycoon funded expeditions. British newspapers sent reporters to Nepal. Even Sir Edmund Hillary, the first man to summit Everest, organized a team to investigate. The hype reached a peak in 1959. The Nepalese government actually issued official Yeti hunting licenses. They were expensive. The rules were clear. If you find a Yeti, you cannot kill it. All evidence must be handed over to the state. Think about that. A government was issuing licenses for a monster hunt, but footprints weren't enough. People wanted flesh and bone. In some Tibetan Buddhist temples, monks guarded sacred relics for generations. They claimed to have Yeti scalps and bones locked away. In 1960, Hillary borrowed a famous Yeti scalp and took it to Western scientists. The result? It was made of goat skin. It was just a ceremonial hat. Hillary later said, "I wanted to find the truth, but the truth wasn't a Yeti. It's just a fascinating fairy tale." Now, back to that smuggled finger. Near Everest, there is a place called Pangboche Monastery. They kept a mummified hand and a scalp. The monks said these were Yeti remains. The legend was mystical. In the 17th century, a high priest lived in a nearby cave. A Yeti reportedly served him, bringing him food, water, and wood. The Yeti eventually became his disciple. When the creature died, the priest brought its hand and scalp to the temple. In 1958, an explorer named Peter Byrne went to get a sample. After a long negotiation, the monks agreed. He could take one finger, but he had to donate money and provide a human finger to replace it. Don't ask me where he got the human finger, I don't know. The problem was getting it out of Nepal. Customs was strict. Luckily, James Stewart and his wife were vacationing in India. Byrne asked for help, and surprisingly, they agreed. They hid the finger in the actress's lingerie, packed it in a suitcase, and walked right through customs. The finger reached the Zoological Society of London. At first, experts said it might be hominid. The world erupted in excitement. But after more analysis, the verdict changed. It was just a human finger. Decades later, modern DNA testing confirmed it. No Yeti, just a cold case. Who did that finger belong to? No one knows. You might think, with all this debunked evidence, why does anyone still believe? Actually, many do. Even Sir David Attenborough has said the Yeti might exist. He is the face of BBC nature documentaries and the world's most respected naturalist. When he says something like that, people listen. Then there are the eyewitness reports. In 1986, Reinhold Messner, the world's greatest climber, was trekking alone in Tibet. He claimed he came face to face with a 7-foot-tall, hairy, upright creature. He was obsessed for years. He investigated everywhere. His final conclusion? He saw a bear. Likely a rare Tibetan blue bear or a Himalayan brown bear. That same year, another British climber took a photo of a Yeti. He rushed home, only to realise it was just a strangely shaped rock. In 2019, the Indian Army tweeted that they found Yeti footprints. They posted photos of tracks measuring 81 by 38 centimetres. The internet mocked them. Any experienced hunter could see it. Those were bear tracks that had melted and expanded in the sun. The Indian Army stopped talking about it very quickly. Legend is legend, but science needs facts. In 2012, Oxford professor Brian Sykes did something big. He asked the world for Yeti samples. Hair, bone, skin, anything. Samples flooded in. Most were fake plant fibers or even fiberglass. He ran DNA tests on the rest. Most were boring: cows, horses, bears, and humans. But 2 samples from the Himalayas were shocking. Their DNA matched an extinct ancient polar bear. The media exploded. Was there a prehistoric predator hiding in the mountains? Yeti fans cheered. They thought they finally had proof. But the joy didn't last. Other scientists challenged the findings. Further analysis showed it was likely just a degraded DNA segment from a modern Himalayan brown bear. In 2017, the final blow came. An international team analysed every available Yeti sample with the most rigorous genetic tools. The conclusion was clear. Every single sample belonged to known animals. Mostly bears. The Yeti, from start to finish, was a bear. But what about Shipton's famous footprint photo? Daniel Taylor, a conservationist who studied the Yeti for years, did an experiment. He pressed the paw of an Asian black bear into soft mud. These bears have a flexible thumb for climbing trees. The print looked almost identical to Shipton's photo. Furthermore, when a bear walks in the snow, its hind paw often steps into the front paw's print. As the snow melts and refreezes, a small track turns into a giant bipedal monster print. Now, let's look at the other side of the world. In the 1950s, while the Himalayas had Yeti fever, the Amazon had its own monster, the Mapinguari. Indigenous people in Brazil and Bolivia have stories of a terrifying creature. It's over 7 feet tall, covered in red fur, with giant claws that can tear through palm trees. The scariest part? Legend says it has a second mouth on its belly. It smells so foul, it can make you faint. Its feet face backward, so you can't track it, and its skin is like rubber bullets just bounce off. It sounds like a myth, but some scientists took it seriously. In the 90 seconds, biologist David Oren interviewed dozens of hunters. He proposed a bold theory. The Mapinguari might be a surviving giant ground sloth. These sloths were the size of elephants. They stood on 2 legs and had massive claws. They had red fur. The only problem? They were supposed to have gone extinct 5,000 years ago. But the Amazon is huge and primitive. Could a small group still be alive? Oren led 6 expeditions. He collected hair, tracks, and feces. He sent them to the lab with high hopes. The results? The hair belonged to an agouti. The feces came from an anteater. The tracks? Locals often faked them to prank foreign scientists. After 10 years, Oren found nothing. Not even a blurry photo. He eventually admitted it was likely a legend, perhaps a multi-generational memory of the last ground sloths, passed down for centuries. 100 years have passed. We have footprints, scalps, fingers, hair, and sightings. None of them have survived scientific scrutiny. Every sample is a bear, a goat, or a human. Biologically, the Yeti is a myth. But does that mean it doesn't exist? Not exactly. As a cultural symbol, it is very much alive. It shapes local traditions. It has inspired the creation of wildlife preserves. In an age of satellites and smartphones, it keeps us humble before the wilderness. That is the power of the Yeti legend. As long as there are places humans haven't reached, the mystery will endure. So, next time you see a headline about new Yeti evidence, think twice. 100 years, millions of dollars, and all we found were bears, goats, and one mysterious human finger. But then again, what if? What if, in some untouched corner of the Himalayas, something really is leaving tracks in the snow before vanishing into the storm? That what if is exactly why the legend of the Yeti will never die.